That coming up.
And we also take a deep dive into how much rain we've seen so far this month.
Plus, we bring a little weather history and talk about how forecasting evolved.
WBRC Fox 6 News. First Alert Weather Extra starts now.
All right now we do have some rain that we are tracking, Tania, and it is muggy outside.
It really is. It's still humid. It's a little sticky out there. Not the best hair day.
I know, it is just so sticky. I noticed last night, I said it feels like a night in June out here already.
Yeah, it really does.
But we're going to see some more of these showers tonight. It's not a steady rain, but I wouldn't leave without having the rain gear because you might need it. We're in that kind of pattern where it's hit or miss.
Yeah, exactly. So bring it with you if you have any nighttime plans, but you're also going to need it Friday and for the weekend, right, Wes?
Yeah, we could see a steadier rain set up by the time we get into Saturday evening. We'll show you that. Let's get into it right now. And first off, I want to show you where we did have a severe storm earlier, and Adam Turner sharing a couple of photos there. This was a severe storm, and you can see right there some ground truth. That is quarter-size hailstones. We see that. That classifies a storm as severe, and you can see it covered the ground there in the Center Hill area of Coleman County. And looking at Dodge City also, Sarah Wood sharing that photo, handful there, not quite as large hailstones, but certainly quite a bit out there with some of these storms. And right now at the moment there is a storm where we probably have some hail that's happening, a core in this one that's over southern Cleburne County and northern Randolph County. Notice all the rain though back to the west. I want to show you this first off because this wet weather is going to be moving our way. It looks like most of the storms with this activity over Mississippi and the heavier rain is more oriented back towards Demopolis and Forkland and New Bern and back in towards places like Fonsdale and Linden. So that's where we're probably going to see some of the heavier rain out of this, but there's still going to be some showers that make their way in from the west throughout this evening. But right now, nothing too extreme from Birmingham back down the 280 corridor to Childersburg, Sylacauga. Looks like a little bit of light rain there around Rockford. Let's get into this one storm though for folks here. A lot of people watch us on our live streams and tune us in from Cleburne County. And I just want to give you that first alert there. Look at that, 92 lightning strikes here over the past 30 minutes. It is popping out here, and you certainly want to be indoors. If you're around Gold Ridge areas, some intense lightning with this storm. Also in the Heflin area, this storm is close enough. You need to be indoors. Probably some small hail with that. The way this is moving, it looks like Bell Mills around 6:51, giving you those first alert times as that moves off to the east. And also this extends, I mentioned, down into Randolph County, Wedowee. This is north of us, but folks there around Gold Ridge to the Burgess area, quite a bit of lightning, and that's about to move out of the state, but it is moving in the opposite direction, moving away from our coverage area, which is good news. As we zoom in here close to the Birmingham area, we've had just mostly light showers. Again, mentioned some of that light rain could work its way in here later on this evening. But hey, the weather right now, it is perfect for some baseball. And let's head on down to the Barron's baseball field out at Regions, where meteorologist Lauren Linehan checks in. And when we checked in a few moments ago, Lauren, I know it's severe weather preparedness week, but also I just couldn't help but notice it looked like a great evening for corn dog.
Yeah. Hey, Wes, in my book, it's always a great evening for a corn dog, and that foot-long corn dog did not disappoint here at the Birmingham Barons. Yeah, so honestly, I know you and Tania have been tracking the rain around, and we haven't seen any just get here. So there's been some light rain just to the west of Regions Field, but fortunately, we're staying dry. We just talked with one of the folks here with the Barons, and they were saying last night they had some rain delay issues as well, so we're really hoping that for tonight, if anything, we're just dealing with some light to moderate rain. But they say they try to play with that rain regardless. The one thing that they are careful with is lightning, which is why we're having Severe Weather Awareness Day here at the Barons game here at Region Field. We talk about when there's a lightning delay. They can delay a game if lightning is detected within 6 miles of the field. And the only reason they would go away from that delay if it has been 30 minutes since the last boom of thunder. here. So very strict regulations here, but you don't want to mess around with lightning. It is one of the most weather-related killers, especially in the summer months. And baseball's played during the summer months, and the summer months are when we can get those pop-up thunderstorms that don't have to be severe, but can cause issues just with lightning alone. But hey, we are smack dab in the middle of spring severe weather season. Feels a lot more like summer right now, so a great night to be out at the ball game. The Barons will be having that first pitch here around 7 o'clock, and they're going to be taking on the Mississippi Braves. So I'm probably going to be sticking around. It's a beautiful night here if we can keep the rain off. It's Thursday as well. They have those every month going into the summer, every week. So I had a corn dog, but you can't have a corn dog without having a little dessert, right? So we're going to try one of the newest items on the menu. This is their walk-off Cine Rolls. And I got some toppings, got some Oreos, sprinkles, a little frosting.
Did you say cinnamon roll?
I did. They're real good.
Hey, I love a good cinnamon roll. You got to have the icing on there too, right?
Oh, yeah. Lots of it. So see you later.
Okay, we'll see you there, Lauren. She's been doing a great job out there. If you haven't checked out the Barons, it's a fun time. Just head out, and a lot of great food out there. And thankfully, the weather, at least for this evening so far, is cooperating. It feels warm out there, certainly feeling like baseball season. But we want to take you across the country because we've had some very active weather that's been happening in states north of us. We've been talking a lot about all the severe weather happening north of Alabama. That's that same front that's eventually going to make its way into our region. But we're talking multiple tornadoes, a significant outbreak of severe weather across parts of Ohio. Wednesday marked the third straight day of severe weather across the Ohio Valley and that part of the country as a cold front continues to make its way southward. We had significant storm damage reported in the town of Bucyrus in northern Ohio, and you can see in this video police advising residents in that area to stay off the roads while crews clean up debris and down power lines. Portage County also confirming a tornado touchdown last night with some damage to some homes. And the National Center for Environmental Protection is in the recovery process today after a data loss this week. It was a major data loss. This comes after systems that provide the different numerical forecast guidance. They overheated due to an AC failure, and even though some data has been lost, the National Weather Service is working to retrieve that data and make sure those systems are restored. And even though we here on the First Alert Weather Team use that data from INSEP from time to time, we do still use our own in-house forecast guidance. So just to let you know, you'll always be able to receive the most accurate forecast from our team.
And with the importance of having different forecast guidance, Dan Smith takes us through more than 2 millennia of meteorology and talks about how forecasting began in this week's Moment of Science.
We've mentioned before that a meteorologist coined the term chaos theory, which kind of gives you an idea of the uphill battle to predict the future of how all the elements intertwine on a local, regional, and global scale. Here's the story of how mankind's ability to forecast the weather has evolved through the centuries. Humans have been curious about the world around them from the start, but our earliest evidence of trying to forecast comes from Babylon in 650 BC. 3 centuries later, Aristotle wrote a paper called Meteorologica. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Well, the word actually does come from meteors, which really describes atmospheric phenomena and anything falling from the sky, including rain, snow, and ice. In that case, hydrometeors. Anyway, Aristotle had quite a few errors, like thinking rainbows were only made of 3 colors for some reason, not even the primary ones. But a lot of his theories were pretty sound. How tornadoes form, lightning creating thunder, even a spherical Earth was factored in, even if he thought the sun revolved around it. Aristotle's work was the standard for a good millennium and a half until the Renaissance came around and we said, yeah, we should probably expand on this a bit. We had theories, now came measurement. The hygrometer, to measure the humidity of air, was actually invented a full century and a half before the thermometer, which you can thank Galileo for. Another 50 years or so would get us the barometer for atmospheric pressure. Now, keeping track of observations at one point was good, but getting faraway info by horse was a bit of a limiting factor. Enter the electric telegraph, nearly instantaneous data from dots and dashes to make informed guesses based on conditions upwind. 2 Royal Navy officers used that tech to full effect, from record keeping at hundreds of Coast Guard stations to developing the first daily weather charts after the loss of a ship in a storm. Fitzroy called it forecasting the weather. Wonder if it'll catch on. Now, with radio came broadcast, with broadcast came warnings, and with World War II came radar. Tracking rain was more of a nuisance when trying to track planes, but that signal noise became a revelation for forecasting once the war was over. A decade down the line, the space race led to looking at Earth from on high, with the first weather satellite pictures beamed to the surface in 1960. Now, the computer age brought far too many advances to get into right now, and you can make all the be wrong all the time but still keep my job quips you want, but consider this chart. From 1955 to 2015, a 36-hour forecast went from a dartboard throw of 23% to nearly 85%. There's a long way to go, and we'll probably never reach 100, but who knows what the next big leap in weather will bring. For this week's Moment of Science, I'm Dan Smith.
And in 30 seconds, we take a quick check on radar as showers and a few thunderstorms continue to push through the area. And then we'll take you around the world to more significant weather events. Don't go anywhere. You're watching First Alert Weather Extra.
Well, it's time for another radar check here on Weather Extra. And this rain we've been watching back to the west starting to spread into central areas. Still watching that one storm here, quite intense, about to move out of Cleburne and Randolph counties. But look at the lightning here. The count on this number of strikes, 68 strikes here over the past 15 to 30 minutes. So it is popping out there. The rain's really light that I'm seeing right now over Pickens County. I checked the camera view, our Sky Vision at Reform, just really light stuff here, but enough to keep those roadways very wet. If you're driving from Holt back to Tuscaloosa, back in towards Foster's, just take it easy out there. Cottondale area as we get into Jefferson County. Looks like a little shower about to cross near Bluff Park right there. So you can see Highway 150 Bluff Park out around Ross Bridge, some showers, and back in towards Brighton, also past Academy there. You can see we have a little bit of rain that's tracking in towards the Birmingham area. But more of this wet weather back to the west. And again, this is going to spread in here through tonight. So there's going to be some off and on showers, just kind of misty and foggy as well later on tonight. Very tropical-like setup at the moment, but that's going to be changing this weekend. We'll break down the weekend forecast coming up.
And now taking you across the world to Japan, where a powerful earthquake struck the southwestern region. The 6.6 magnitude quake struck late Wednesday night, and at least 9 people suffered minor injuries. The jolt sent items crashing to the floor inside homes and ruptured water lines in the city of Tsukumo. The Japanese Meteorological Agency said the earthquake occurred about 30 miles below the sea surface and posed no danger of a tsunami. And in Ecuador, a severe drought is causing a major energy crisis. Officials say the drought has affected production at hydroelectric dams, which are Ecuador's main source of electricity. The Ecuadorian government declared an energy emergency Tuesday and suspended the working day today and tomorrow. They also ordered an increase in energy rationing to 8 hours a day. A climate expert said the drought was brought on by El Nino. And still ahead, we talk about how much rain we've seen over the month of April so far, as well as talk about how much rain we could see this weekend. Stay tuned for more First Alert Weather Extra.
Well, our network of First Alert weather watchers checking in with us today. One of our weather watchers, Jerry Pete, reported 1/1200ths of an inch of rain, and in Smoke Rise, William Clark, 1/1700ths of an inch of rain. But obviously, we've had some heavier rain in some spots out there. It's been kind of hit or miss. But how much rain have we seen so far this month? Let's get an update right now with meteorologists Matt Daniel and Mickey Ferguson.
Pitter pat, patter pit, pitter pat. That's rain.
Did not know that, but let's talk about some rain. I know some spots recorded a little bit of rain yesterday, not everybody.
More into our northern tier counties, wasn't it?
That's right. So let's show you those estimated rainfall totals over the past 5 days. A lot of this was from yesterday, and like you said, mainly to the north. So start seeing those green colors. We're talking about maybe about an inch or so. So
inch and a half-ish.
Yeah, not too bad out of Coleman into parts of Blount County. Almost an inch of rainfall, especially if you go west and south and west of Gadsden. But as you were saying, farther south, not a lot.
Yeah, just a trace amounts. So how are we looking as far as what we need for this time of the year? Typically, we're kind of wet this time of the year, aren't we?
Yeah, it's one of the wettest months of the year. As you can see, we typically will record a little over 5 inches of rainfall for April.
So let's see how we're doing so far.
All right.
Well, in Birmingham, we're at 1.8 inches, 1.3 in Tuscaloosa, and 1.5 inches in Anniston, so we're a little bit below the curve.
Yeah, a little dry. Could use some additional rainfall as we're already over halfway through the month. But let's talk about the yearly rainfall for Anniston, Birmingham, and Tuscaloosa. This is for Anniston, and so far this year we picked up 17.5 inches of rainfall, but typically we should pick up a little more than that. So we actually have a little bit of a deficit.
Okay, well that's Anniston. How about Birmingham? We're about 1/2 inch below. Just a little bit below that, but in Tuscaloosa, we're looking pretty good.
Yeah, northwest Alabama's picked up a little more in the way of rainfall. So Tuscaloosa still has a surplus of rain over 2 inches. So that's some good news. But, you know, there's still some opportunities for rain as we go into this evening, tomorrow, going into the weekend. And, of course, we'll continue to fine-tune that. But, of course, no concerns regarding drought. The latest drought monitor, we're still looking pretty good.
And I think we'll get through the weekend without any stormy weather, just good old-fashioned rainfall.
Yeah, just some steady rain Sunday, but that, of course, that's an issue for the big race in Talladega.
That's right, pitter pat, patter pit. But that's boogity boogity, isn't it? Yeah.
He should have added boogity boogity in there too, right, for all the Talladega fans. All right, right now, Nectar, we have a lot of clouds and the temperature at 74 degrees. We were tracking that storm earlier that moved across Coleman County. Some rain still out there. This wet weather to the west, you can see this isn't intensifying. It's just trying to hang on, but just enough to make for some wet roads. Now starting to push in the leading edge of this into parts of Shelby, Bibb, and Jefferson County. And I mean, this is really light stuff here. Mostly just sprinkles and mist that's moving in from the west, but temperatures have cooled off into the 70s around the state here. It feels very tropical, very soupy. Again, tonight fog is going to be an issue for us out there, but notice the new forecast data pushes that rain through, and later on tonight we could see more showers and storms. You see that rotating through, so this is going to be off and on throughout the overnight hours. As we talked about earlier, I just have that umbrella nearby in case you encounter some of that rainfall, but late tonight it's possible we could hear a rumble of thunder, but the risk for us seeing any severe weather, as I've been seeing throughout the week, very, very low for us. I know we had a severe storm today, but it's a very isolated case there that we could see a stronger thunderstorm, as most of this is just a lot of rain right now. And in the morning, 6 o'clock, we will start out with some clouds around. Now, we'll have to watch tomorrow afternoon as we heat up again. Notice what happens. We start to see that same area to the north right there. More pop-up showers and storms, and as those temperatures rise into the 80s, that's sort of the what we like to call the convective temperature there. We start to get those stronger thunderstorms. If we do see those, might try to pop up, produce some more intense lightning and some small hail. But as far as a major widespread risk for severe weather, the severe risk is very, very marginal. And what's actually happening, we got a cool front that's going to move south of us. That's going to happen by Saturday. Notice lunchtime Saturday, so it's not going to feel as soupy out there. The temperatures cool off quite a bit. In fact, on Sunday, the high is only in the 50s, so it is going to cool off. But watch what happens as this moves south. there's a disturbance that develops, a low pressure that's going to move across that front there and help to kick up the rain again Saturday night and into Sunday. So basically we have just a cool, steady rain event that's going to set up Saturday night and into Sunday. The big question when we get this out of here Sunday afternoon, latest long-range guidance still showing East Alabama that wet weather will be around there later on Sunday. But I think for the Stallions game, we'll be in pretty good shape here. Very hit or miss until later Saturday evening for those showers out at Protective Stadium. Again, just grab the poncho just in case. Geico 500 though, at least early afternoon at Talladega. Good chance for wet weather that's going to be dropping off into the evening. But here is our first alert 7-day forecast. Notice next week, once we get beyond that rain chance on Sunday, we have cooler conditions, much colder conditions at night, down to 44 degrees early Monday morning. We'll be cranking up the heat, 45 there early on Tuesday. Looks like some scattered storms coming back towards the end of next week. But we're going to check that out right now as we go to meteorologist Tania Michelle. Tania, you got the weather calendar there.
Yes.
Late next week, some hit or miss showers. I was actually looking out towards the weekend of the 27th and still no model really in agreement on how much rain we could see that weekend.
Yeah, so we're just going to give everyone the first alert. There could be some wet weather around for April the 27th and April the 28th. That's next weekend. But as of right now, not sold on a washout by any means. So an isolated shower is what we'll hold at this current moment. But Wes just talked about the rest of this week into the weekend. We've got most of that wet weather around for us by Sunday. So if you're looking for the driest day of the weekend to enjoy, it's really going to be the first half of your Saturday. We'll see increasing rain chances Saturday night and of course into your Sunday. But starting next week, dry. Monday, Tuesday, it will start a little cooler as we bring in your Monday morning next week with temperatures in the 40s Monday morning. And then we'll steadily start to warm up, especially by midweek, and seeing temperatures by Wednesday in the upper 70s again. But that's when we start to see increasing rain and storm chances. Temperatures go up, more unsettled conditions. So we're going to give you a first alert for scattered storms around by April 25th. And again, April the 26th. And then our next chance for rain now looks like it could be around as we start the month of May. I know. Why can't we start on a dry note, right, guys? But we'll be talking more about your forecast, of course, right here on First Alert Weather Extra. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Fine. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
That's perfect.
yeah, that's fine.
We'll just show back up. All right, welcome back into Weather Extra, and this week we managed to find a rainbow picture out there today. You know, we had a little bit of sunshine. We're seeing those scattered showers and thunderstorms. That's actually from Wisconsin.
Wow, okay. That was a beautiful view there, and another beautiful view. This one's from Charlene. Morning sky at Serene Lake. Ooh, that's so pretty.
Love those lake photos. How about Lay Lake here from Timothy Miller? Listen, Timothy, keep sharing those photos, and you keep sharing those on the First Alert Weather app. We'll feature those right here on Weather Extra. But we've had some pictures earlier. We had some hail photos
in Coleman County. We'll be tracking more rain around though throughout your night tonight. So check in for updates first at 9.
Have a good evening.